running backs, we played a gross game last year with these running backs. Ronald Jones is really I think a lot of people are going to have the image of Leonard Fournette tearing it up in the playoffs like he did last year. But if you look at the regular season, it really wasn't close between which one produced more consistently than the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Fournette finished 38th overall in 13 games. Ronald Jones, 16th overall in 14 games. Like, Ronald Jones was the 16th best running back last year.
Jeez.
Which is hard to think about. And he had some definitely bad games, but he also had a pretty decent amount of good games, usable games. It was just the dice roll every week of we really weren't sure what was going to happen.
Yeah, I think, when you really kind of look at both of them, I definitely think Ronald Jones had the more consistent season, but Leonard Fournette just kind of took over in the playoffs.
The playoffs.
That was really
doesn't
about
matter
it.
for us.
Yeah. I mean, that does nothing for fantasy. What's really funny, dude, is these guys is ADP. So
I would hands down Ronald Jones. If I had to pick one in this offense, it would be Ronald Jones.
Where do you think Ronald Jones is going right now?
6th round?
Yep, 606.
Yeah.
And
I'm so good at this game.
Yeah. What about Leonard Fournette?
9th round?
No, that one you're way off.
7th?
Nope.
Later?
Mm-mm.
8th?
Earlier.
Well, he's going ahead of Ronald Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
508.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So,
Ronald Jones.
Between the two,
Ronald Jones.
I think I would take my shot on Ronald Jones as well.
I forget who tweeted this. Oh, I wish I remember who tweeted this, but it was really funny. They were like, Ronald Jones is the oldest 26-year-old of all time. Like, that made me laugh a long time. Like, yeah. He's an old guy.
Wait, Ronald Jones is only 23.
I mean, Leonard Fournette.
Oh.
My bad. Leonard
I was
Fournette.
like, wait a second. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, no, because he is only 26.
Yep.
And he already looks like he can't walk.
If Ronald Jones could just figure out, like, stop dropping
game?
the ball,
Yeah.
stop fumbling the ball, he could be really good. He really could. Some of the runs he has are very impressive. He can look really good at times. But Bruce Arians does not abide by fumbling and drops.
Dude, fumble the once, you're not playing, man. Just fumble. I mean, that's
it. Was interesting. We had a lot of debates. Like, they drafted Keyshawn Vaughn last year with decent capital.
Yeah.
He saw 31 touches in 10 games last year.
Yeah, which is crazy because I know he had COVID
They
issues.
also brought in Giovanni Bernard for some reason.
Yeah, which is really funny because Gio's actually third on the depth chart and Keyshawn is fourth.
It's weird. I think it's irrelevant between those two. I don't think you're ever going to play them, but yeah.
I'm just surprised though.
Because there was there wasn't like a ton of hype around Keyshawn Vaughn, but he was a good receiver. They thought they might work him into the passing game, keep him that receiving threat, but no, none of that.
No, unfortunately.
Yep. So yeah, I imagine you agree with me, Ronald Jones over Leonard Fournette.
I mean, I'm gonna have to kind of wait a little bit. I mean, obviously, we're not doing our
I can't believe
rankings right now, but
Fournette's going ahead of Ronald Jones.
I think it just kind of depends. I think Ronald Jones,
I just think he's the better player, better runner. He makes bad mistakes, but so does Fournette. Fournette's not
Fournette is very one-dimensional.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just a running back. He can't catch.
I mean, he's worked him. He's better at it than Ronald Jones. I mean, Fournette has seen a year where I believe he saw 100 targets.
Really? Was that?
Yep.
That's crazy. I don't remember.
I believe that was his last year. Yep, 100 targets, 2019, last year in Jacksonville.
Right. They were so behind.
The next highest is 48, his rookie year. He's not good at it, but you give him the volume, he'll do something with it.
Yeah, who knows? Well, and what's really strange, man, I wonder if he's going to pull like that little Matt Ryan thing where he's good every other year. Because if you look at his rankings, rookie season 8, 2018,
one of those
40.
is just injuries. He only played half that season.
True. And he was hurt in 2022.
Yeah.
But still, 9 and then 38. So maybe he's going to be hurt every other season too.
Yep. So now we come to the tight end portion of the Bucs.
Dude, real quick, he's never played 16 games.
Yeah.
He's hurt every year.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
That's stupid.
He was hurt in college. Like, dude can't stay healthy. He's the oldest 26-year-old of all time.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
I'm now kind of getting on board with that. And see, that's the difference, dude. Like Ronald Jones, 16 and 14 in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, Ronald Jones is 3 years younger, but he's only been in the league one last year.
God, he can't. Jeez, anyway.
So yeah,
tight ends.
Yeah, tight ends on this team. Gronk, he kind of did it last year. Like it was, I mean, what did I put down for his fantasy finish?
8th.
8th overall, which
Yep.
I mean
His
is a
tight ends last
relative
season.
term, but he was definitely a streamable tight end last year, which I did not see coming. I thought it was more just like a PR move, have Brady's buddy around. He'll get some red zone targets. But yeah, I mean, it was mostly touchdowns that put him up there. He had 7 receiving touchdowns. But he was good. But O.J. Howard last year, he only played the first 4 games, got hurt. He saw so the games where Gronk and O.J. Howard were out there together, Gronk saw more snap percentage. He was out on the field more, but O.J. Howard saw more targets and outproduced him in those 4 games. You think that's what's going to happen coming back? Or because there's also the argument that, well, Gronk, he missed an entire year of football. Probably took him a while to get back into shape. So now if he's in his athletic, how he's going to be, he didn't have to take that rehabbing time coming into this season. How do you see the two working out?
So if you really look at Gronk, in my opinion, it was almost kind of the tale of 2 seasons. You know, weeks 1 through 5 were not great.
No, and that's when O.J. Howard was out there for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, they weren't great. But again, like you just said, I think he was kind of trying to get back into quote unquote football shape in a COVID season where they didn't really have workouts and stuff.
Yeah.
So I do think that. And when you see later on, he really picked it up.
Yeah, inconsistent, but
inconsistent,
as far as a tight
but
end,
picked it up.
Yeah,
he was one of the more consistent week to week tight ends. Whereas some of these other tight ends that even finished ahead of him had like really big weeks, but had really
he had some
bad
big weeks
lulls.
as far as a tight end goes, like 18 points, 16 point, 14 point, 3 weeks in a row. That's a very good stretch for a tight end.
Right.
He had other like 19-point games. So those are very good games for a tight end.
Right. So I think that he'll be fine. We both were not on board with Gronk coming into the
we
season.
weren't. But
So,
I think I'm going to be off Gronk now with OJ coming back. I think he'll be the receiving weapon.
Yeah, well, really. Well, Gronk is a really good blocker, so that makes sense.
And I think that's more reason why he was out there on the snap percentages way more than OJ.
Because he can block and OJ can't.
But when they want to throw to the tight end, I think OJ Howard's going to be the first target.
Do you think they're going to run a lot of 12 personnel again?
I don't know.
Got, again, an abundance of wide receivers.
They didn't run. I mean, they ran like 22% of the time. 12-man, that's slightly above average. So it'll probably be about the same because they were still throwing Braid out there and stuff like that. It might go up a little bit, but I don't think a ton. I think they want to have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Antonio Brown.
Yeah, I agree.
As much as possible.
But that's where I'm trying to see is like, then who do you think is going to be the number 1 on this team? You think it's going to be OJ?
Tight end?
Yeah.
Receiving threat? Yes.
No,
snap
I'm just saying snap percentage wise.
It'll probably
because whoever is on the field,
Gronk again.
Whoever's on the field more is who I'm going to take my shot on. I'm just looking at it from purely that perspective.
Yeah.
Because there's more opportunity. He's on the field.
If I just had to do these averages off the top of my head, looking at them, OJ Howard is on the field probably about 50% of the time in those first 4 games. Gronk's more like 75, close to 80% of the time.
Yeah, so I think I would still take my shot on Gronk at this point.
Yeah, but in those first 4 games, Gronk saw 14 targets. OJ Howard saw 19.
I'm still fine with that.
And 2 touchdowns. Gronk really didn't produce anything.
No, I know he didn't.
I'm going OJ.
Okay, that's fine. Your loss.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out. We'll probably have a bet later on this season to see who has a better season between the two. Well, all right, we'll have to do it on points per game because we know OJ Howard's going to get
I'm really
hurt.
not excited about either of them because I do think the tight end's going to be the 4th receiving threat in this offense.
Yeah,
I think it's going to go, as far as just target share goes, it'll probably go Godwin, Evans, Antonio, and then I'm going OJ.
Yeah, and I'd go Gronk and OJ.
Thank you so much for watching the Fantasy Monsters on YouTube. If you liked our video today, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the little bell icon. Get notified whenever we go live or post other videos. You can see the link below. You can click on previous videos. You can also leave comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. And we'll catch you next week.
Have a go.